Welcome to the art stream. Hello, DR. Yeah, it's been a while. We're just gonna hop right. Okay, it's black. Thing? Doohickey? There it is. Okay. Hello, hello. So this is gonna be the first art stream in a little while. I don't quite remember what I was working on last time I was doing art. Besides this. Which I think is supposed to be a offline stream thingamajig. Ads finally ended. It's so weird because I click the button and it counts down from 3 minutes to 0. And when it hits 0 is when I start the stream. So it's kind of really annoying that sometimes the ads stop later or earlier than that. But, yeah, at least they are over. But, yeah, I'm not sure exactly what I was doing here. Also, it looks like my tablet settings got fucked up again. Because why wouldn't they? That. Alright, and now can I draw? No. Yes? No. Yes. Okay. Alright. So it's gonna take a quick second for me to get back into this. I'm not exactly sure where I left off, what my intentions were. But looking at this right now, it looks like I completely fucked it up. Which is a good sign. So, yeah, I guess let's just pick this up where I left off. And by that I mean let's just remove that, because I don't need to have it there. Actually, you know what? Let's see. What can I do with this? We have this line art. Then we just have the color. Yeah. Let me get rid of that. And get rid of this shitty-ass TV that I drew, apparently. I got the perspective wrong. Normally, when an object is face-on from you, you want the corners to... Hold on, I need to make this smaller. You want it to look kind of like this from a top view. That's how you draw a box when you're looking straight at it. I did a dumb thing, and I drew it like this for some reason. And that's how you draw a non-Euclidean cube. That's how you draw a confusing thing that's not supposed to exist. So, I'm gonna have to rectify that. But, Otherwise, this is looking pretty alright. I remember I spent way too much time... what if it does exist? No. The only shape that exists is like a perfectly symmetrical cube. There's no such thing as other shapes. Cylinders and spheres and all of that stuff. It's completely false. Like, they don't... Ah! Anyways. I know I shouldn't be screaming like that randomly because it might concern the other people in my house. But, it's funny. I do it for the bit. Alright. I'm gonna have to turn this music down even more. Alright. Is that quiet enough? Just gotta make sure I'm audible over the music. But, I recently worked on I've recently been working on a another TV thing. Let's see. Open? No, that doesn't work. And my dog's barking. She's always barking. Let's get this thing open. Here it is. So, I recently put together this thing. It's going to be for my YouTube videos. However, I realized that it probably makes for a significantly better TV than whatever fucking box I had there. So, I'm going to rectify that by just kind of copy-pasting this into the, into this image here. So let's see here. I just drop that, insert as new layer. Now we have big ass TV. And I should be able to do this. Man. Big ass TV. Okay. Yeah, so that looks like it'll work significantly better for the vibe I'm going for. Also, of course, the TV has to be huge because these old TVs were absolutely massive. Let me just save that. And we can continue. What's this? Oh, okay. Hold on. Yeah, so today's going to be a rather straightforward stream. Not much is going to be happening besides me drawing, I guess. Let's see. Table line art. Like, there's not going to be there's not going to be a lot of thinking involved today. It's just going to be right back to the good old days of not doing anything. How unexpected. I know. So, I won't be cracking jokes. There will be no clown guys. There will simply be a bald-ass motherfucker drawing with his broken pen on a free program for an audience of 2. Okay. So, let's just fix the table a bit, because I kind of fucked it. I kind of fucked the whole deal. The entire thing. That's wrong. That's better. I messed up my perspective. I messed up the design. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to make this thing look better, because I kind of wanted it to look like a trapezoid. I kind of wanted to give it the look like that if you were to look at it top down, but I'm not sure if that like tracks. I'm not sure if that's obvious. Here, let me also add some extra thickness to this black outline to make it match with the rest of the image. I am gonna have to mess around with the 3D as well, because this thing's just a 2D front-on view. Oh wait, no, if I'm doing this, then I should wait for a second. Let's see. I've been casually updating the YouTube playlist. So we're going to get a number of new tracks that we haven't really heard before, which is nice, because after a little while of hearing the same thing over and over again, music does end up getting a little bit grating. Let's see. If I do this, flatten that out. Flat, like flat. And that can go a little further because it's got a lip. Like so. I started talking about new music and stuff while an old track is playing. This is not new. There is no universe in which this is new to the stream. We've heard this many, many times. But eventually we'll get the new stuff. Now let's just focus on trying to make this look alright. Kind of uneven. I kind of like that it's uneven. How would one remedy this? By doing nothing, I guess. You know what? I like that it's kind of uneven. It adds to the style. So I'm just gonna smooth this part out and make sure that overall it looks correct. Like, that doesn't look correct. I need to have this at a slightly steeper angle. Like so. Is that better? Yeah, that's better. Alright. Now it's a matter of figuring out where everything will fit. So that can sit right at the edge of the table. I might have to... This is more fitting music for what is happening right now, which is, local dumbass has no idea what the hell art is. Alright, we can go for that. Flatten that out quite a bit. That's much better. That works much better. And the nice thing is I will be able to now take my proper full-size brush here and add a nice black outline to it all to keep it kind of set in the setting, in the image. Keep it consistent amongst the other aspects of it. And hopefully by the time I'm finished painstakingly drawing these lines, it will look good. And if it doesn't, I will redraw it. There's not much else that I would do. There. How's that look? That looks good. I just need to finish it. Stopping and looking halfway through and going, oh yeah, that's looking good, is kind of funny to me in concept, because you haven't even finished it. You're not even close to finishing it. You're like halfway there and you're like, yeah, I'm happy with this. I know that it's a good thing to stop and look at your work and stuff, but conceptually it's kind of funny to me. It's like, what if they built a building or were working on a building? They're like, half of it was done, none of the windows are in, some guy just fell off, and you're like, looks good. I don't know. Alright. Just finish this up. I gotta get good at drawing proper straight lines. Well, maybe I don't. Yeah, maybe I don't. I was gonna say proper straight lines because then I could do parts like this much easier. But upon a slight bit of thought, not something I usually do, I realize that kind of half of my style is wobbly lines, so I should just go with it. Now, all of the wood being generally the same color might cause issues. I'm not sure if I should add the white outlines that I usually do. I guess I could test it out after, but let's just run with this right now. That's the metal part. It is quite nice to be back to just regular art streaming, game streaming. It's nice, because it has been a good long while of not even touching it. Not even touching my art, not even touching streaming in general. So, gonna have the opportunity to actually do more of this stuff. Alright. Now, the top part should be kind of shaded darker, because it is going to be in shadow. So that is what I will do, kind of preemptively. I looked it up because I thought up the term pre-shading, and I looked it up because I was like, yeah, this sounds like something that would describe what I'm doing. Turns out it's for 3D models, so this is not pre-shading. I have no idea what this is, but I'm gonna do it because it helps create a nice looking finished result. Green world. I'm gonna try to stream throughout the week like I have over the summer, but I can't promise anything on that front because with the inconsistencies of college, I really have no way of knowing if I will be available every day of the week for streaming. So we'll just have to figure that out. Kinda test it as we go. Alright, let's get some really dark shades in here. Touch them on. Make it look textured without adding very much texture to it. Alright, maybe I color over the lighter spots. Yeah, it's good enough. Actually, maybe not. I want it to look like it's got streaks in it. That, saying it like that sounds weird, but in actuality, I mean streaks of color. Streaks of grain. I need it to look like wood. So, go back through, make sure that all of the color differences look kind of like wood grain. Yeah, okay, that's much better. And I can just clean this up. There we go. And over here doesn't really need it as much because it's supposed to be metal and it's going to be in the shadow, so it doesn't really matter. Okay. Merge with layer below. We're going to call this TV. Now, let's finish this table, because it's bad. It's not a good table. We're going to keep the legs, because those were annoying to draw. And I'm going to go for a more typical table shape of rectangle. and just see if that works out. Additionally, I fucked up with the table legs as well. I just realized. Why do they look like this? They're supposed to be flipped. Let me fix that. They're supposed to look like this. And even here, it's like way too much. Let's do something like this. Squish it down. No. No, that ain't right. Okay. That works. That works better. And I am going to just do that. Here's some of the new music, finally. The original legs seem to be copy-pasted anyways, so I'll just copy-paste this leg afterwards. Right. That's the wrong color. How steep is that? That's rather shallow. So we can just make this like this. Alright. You know what? I'm just gonna redo this. Fuck it. It's a bad table. I did it wrong. Let's make it better. That's what art is for. Let's give it a nice curved front edge that can hide the top of the leg so I don't have to worry about it. Microwave 2.0. What's up, Hollow? Been a bit. Also, yes, we do have microwave and television that looks like microwave. Gotta get a fridge next. Honestly, at some point, maybe. I just gotta get a number of appliances. Eventually, we'll find a fax machine somewhere on the on the shelf. Apartment for the Hoog. I was kind of going for cozy cabin vibes, but the idea that this is actually an apartment is really funny. What apartment? Where in the world? You bunking for like first semester in the middle of a fucking forest? Yeah, let me get rid of this leg. I don't need it. It's bad. It's a bad leg. Honestly, one of the only things that I actually cooked with here was the carpet. And that's gonna be covered up. How's the IRL? We're doing alright. Not much is happening. I go back to college tomorrow, which is why we probably aren't going to be seeing many more Tuesday streams. I was saying before that midweek streams are probably going to be in a decline as school happens, but I don't know. Am I still going to window clean? Nope. I quit that job. Kind of sucked. But I got all the money I need for it, or from it anyways. So I am all good on that front, and I can focus my efforts into learning and streaming. Both very important facets of my lifestyle, of course. You gotta have those days where you gain knowledge, and you have to have those days where you spew garbage. They're both equally important in a growing boy's lifestyle. I don't know. If there's one thing that hasn't changed, it's my ability to speak. I'm still just as dog shit at it. Alright. So I want to give room underneath the table to... Now, do I want to put Cloud underneath the table? That's the question. Do I want to put a cat bed under the table? Because now that I think of it, I could, and it would be cute, but also I'd have to put a lot of effort into it. And I don't think I've ever drawn a cat. No, I've drawn a cat once. So, you know, it'll be a bit of a difficult thing. So we'll have to figure that out as we go. By the way, let me know if my mic's bad at all. Like if it's too quiet or too loud, or I don't know if it's got problems with it, because I am currently dealing with a lot of audio issues, and it's gotten to the point where I just said fuck it and dropped $500 on a new microphone that's going to be coming in a week, I think, and hopefully this time it's going to be it's going to be good. It's going to be usable. Because I don't tend to I don't enjoy spending that much money on one thing. It's a little bit iffy. Let's get rid of this extra bold line here. Now that looks significantly more like the kind of table that you'd find in your grandmother's house. And that's what we're going for here. That's the vibe of today. And of the stream in its entirety. We're looking for the house/furniture combination that evokes feelings of grandparents and old people. Because that's obviously the most ideal stream vibe. Okay, let's... Let's make sure that it flows correctly, so I don't have to deal with crap. Alright. That's looking alright. Move this down a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Now here's the problem. The angle of these things... Actually, hold on. Let's see. This looks pretty much like if I am standing up, that is, I'm like a little bit above it, but the table, you see more of the top because it's lower down. So perhaps this isn't that bad. Perhaps I'm actually fine and there are no problems. Let's do some more of this. And this time I'm going to try to make some table legs that actually look good as opposed to being rectangles. Because the rectangles didn't really do much for the looks of the piece. So let's do this. Actually, I wonder if I could do some wall-mounted thing here. Like if I did that, like so. I'd have to... Does that work? Might as well test it out. Alright. How does that look? Honestly, not the worst. If I just add an extra little bit of thickness here, and then just a straight line going up, it should look terrible. Yay! Okay, let me let me fix that. So that's going forwards a little bit. We're gonna want it to be more like this, I guess. Yeah, okay, that's better. So let's try to fill out this spot here as best we can. No. Like that. We can do this. You know, sometimes when I'm doing streams like this and there aren't people in the chat actively talking, I naturally forget that I'm streaming. And that happened just now, where I forgot that I was streaming briefly, and I was like, oh, time to just kind of look at it and do what I usually do when trying to do art. Look at it. I'm not a very productive person. Alright, though. How does this look? It doesn't look bad, but there's something wrong with it. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Let me try a few things and just see what I can make up here. If I take this shape here and just copy paste it over here, maybe increase, no. Okay, how does that look from afar? Worse. Alright. That gives us information. How about something like that? Ooh, that's closer. Alright. Well, in that case, I just need to take off this sharp angle up here. Have it wider at the top, slimmer at the bottom, because that's how perspective works, I think. Yeah, okay, that kind of looks better. Now's the question of, what else? How about... Because there's definitely still stuff here that is not working out. Maybe it's just the fact that it's going as sharply down as it is. Maybe I should make it more gradual as it goes down. Make it go down a little further as well. And stop it, like, there. I don't know, I'm barely an artist. And if we do it like so... Just match that angle. Like so. And like so. Now, does that look any better? No. Man. Maybe I'm being too harsh on myself. Maybe I should just finish the piece before getting all into the nitty-gritty of the things. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. Well, in this case... Because this is the thing. This is the problem here. Because I am an artist, but also I am an engineering student. So I look at this, and I'm like, this table would probably fall off the wall. But then the artist in me goes, but it looks kind of cool. So it's a constant back and forth of trying to figure out whether or not it looks cool or if it's a little too unreasonable or whatnot. But let's just go with it for now. Alright. Now, I could probably make the table the same color as this TV. For the most part. So, let's just do that. Let's up the size of that. Actually, we'll do this. And let's darken it a bit. Put it down to like that, and just kind of go across the top of it with some light strokes to add that texture in. So that's what we're looking for. We're making it look like wood. So we're just gonna do that until it looks good. Now this is a much more purposeful way of doing it. Usually I kind of just take a big ass brush and I go over and over again until it vaguely resembles the texture I want. But since this is a large flat surface that is also going to be the focus of a lot of attention in the image, I think I should probably put a little more effort into making sure the wood looks nice, like I did here with this texture. Another problem is that this is perhaps a little too high resolution for the rest of the image. No, I disagree with myself. I think it's perfectly fine. Because what I'm going to be doing in the future is I'm going to be adding other images that have been pre-drawn to shelves around the TV here. And so those are probably going to match the resolution of the TV, which is closer to what I want. I want the points of interest to be detailed, and I want everything else to kind of, you know, give context for why things are there. Very weird way of saying I want to have a subject of the image, but you know, I don't speak good. Alright. Now, let's just do that. I'm getting... the more time I spend on this, the more the more I get the urge to just kind of go at the entire thing. But I won't. I shan't. It would be easier to do it this way. A lot less doing and redoing if I did it this way. And over here, we can also just add more of that. And here, it's going to mostly be lines that are completely crossing it, because these are thinner sections. Just gotta make sure it all blends in well. And this, I'll do the same, but looking like this. And right now, it probably looks, well, it does look kind of bad, but that's because I haven't finished it yet. I've had to get used to the texture and the overall composition of the image looking bad, really, really bad as I am drawing them, but eventually, when I erase all the extra crap, it comes together, strangely enough. So let's just do another pass of a larger brush to add the larger texture details. Make everything look coherent. So you have those minor changes, or rather the smaller, more intricate differences in shade and stuff. Then you have these larger ones. We can go over it with just a new brush of lighter colors. No, that's too dark. Lighter colors? Lighter colors. There we go. Just to drown out a little bit of that coloring. And finally, we erase all the extra stuff. And it should look like wood. I'm honestly surprised that I did this. Thank you. It's the kind of thing that, like, when I was a young guy, I guess I am still a young guy, I'm 20. When I was an even younger guy starting art, I would get discouraged looking at other people's art and being like, oh, but it's so fucking good and mine is so fucking bad. But over time, just doing the same simple techniques has ended out with something I like. And at this point, I really enjoy doing art because I've fallen into it. It's like people say, and it's one of those things that you hear a lot, and you're like, yeah, that makes sense. I'm not gonna follow it though. But never comparing yourself against other people in terms of art is really important to keep your willingness to continue doing art up. You are really the only person you should be comparing yourself to. But it's hard not to. It's really hard not to look at somebody else's art and go, I'm dog shit. But eventually you'll find your art. I've got a brother. I've got a lot of brothers, but I've got a brother who doesn't really do that much art. But even he's got a style. Even he's found kind of a pocket that he enjoys the look of, and he enjoys the activity of, like, drawing it. I think he does painting more than he does, like, digital stuff like this, or pen on paper. But it really is just find something that you can comfortably do. You know, two brothers who both draw porn commissions. Now that's the kind of art that I would never do. But more power to them, honestly. There are a lot of people out there who would give you a lot of things for a simple image, as long as it had booba in it. But yeah, no, just learning to enjoy art more than, like, enjoy winning at art, because that's really what it is, right? When you think about it, the desire to always be to always have your art stand up to the greats, you know? You're trying to win art. Why? Just enjoy the action of doing it. And eventually, it'll come out nice. Like that. I kind of doubted myself here for the wood texture thing. I was saying words and being like, yeah, I'm confident. This looks a lot nicer than I intended it to. So that's a nice plus. All right. Let's continue. Now, we have this. What's this? Oh. Shelves also have a nice texture. Oh yeah, I forgot about those. I mean, you can actually see there is a notable difference between the texturing of the shelf and the texturing of this shelf. Because for those shelves, what I did was a significantly simpler technique that I like to use when just like carelessly, just want to doodle. You get your doohickey, you get your shape. All right? And then underneath that shape, oh, why is my TV table suspended in the air? That's what I was like working on this for. These are supposed to be it's a hanging shelf. It's I mean, the best way to show it is to show the hanging shelves that I have up there. It's that. It's the same concept, except I was trying to figure it out. Hence why I was redrawing it over and over again, because I wanted to make sure that it looked good and also looked feasible. But yeah, no, when I'm making most of the texturing, it literally is just, you take big thing like this, you get your base color, you go, all right? And then you take another color and you go, in the exact same way. And then you do that over and over and over again until you get the texture like the shelves I have up here. It's really simple. And it works. So, if you're ever looking to make textures like that, that's how you do it. Sexture? I'm just imagining, like, what if I did? Oh, man! I said sexture! Like, that's a little... You know what? No. I was making fun of you there, but I laughed at it, so, you know. Oh, man! I'll never get sex ever in my life! Alright. So, now that we've done this, let's see. What do I want from this overall image? I want, of course, the focus to be on the television, and I want references to be surrounding it. So how exactly do I do that? I was gonna put shelves, weren't I? I was gonna stick doohickamajiggies all around this. I do not know why I speak like this now. Yippee-ki-yay. Table. Let's add some shelves. Let's call this shelves. They're shelves, line art. And because I am too lazy to do it the old-fashioned way, drawing it one shelf at a time, I am going to just duplicate the image as I draw it. Why can't I see? I can't even see it. There it is. Why it disappear? Okay. So let's match this angle right here on the ground. just to keep things consistent. And it won't go on the carpet, because that's bad feng shui or something. I don't know feng shui. Yeah, that works. And we're just gonna take a straight line and bring it off the screen. That's gonna be our shelf base. And let's see. Maybe not. Maybe I've got this wrong. Let me try to attack it from a different angle here. I want the shelves to be kind of right up next to this here. So we can do that. That works. Next. Okay. Make sure that's straight. And then we go like this. And we're gonna match it with this line instead. Because it's a much, much harsher line. Much steeper line. And that will give us more view of the front of the shelf as opposed to the side of the shelf. So, let's see. Does that look like it'll work? I think it will. Yeah. Maybe. Let me just redo this as a straight line as opposed to a slanted line. I should be doing this with my mouse. It's so much easier. There we go. That's a straight line. And do this. There we go. And of course, shelves need thickness. They don't just kind of. They're not paper thin. So let's try to give this a little bit of thickness. So that would be just straight line going that way from there. Get rid of the background here real quick. And we can do this. That works, maybe. I can never tell. Okay. What are the big shells going to be for? So I'm going to reuse this, like this basic image for my, I think streams, no. Not stream starting soon, but I'm going to reuse it for my BRB screen and my offline screen, and probably for other things as well. So what I'm going to use the shelves for is I'm just going to put little references. So, oh, thank you. I stole the design directly from Don't Starve. But, yeah, no, I'm just going to dot references like clown guy, even though that is such a small thing. But, you know, just little things like that I can put around as a funny little hoo-hoo-ha-ha. I still drew it. Fair point. You make a fair argument there. All right. So, how will I make these shelves look ornate? Because I do want them to match the rest of this, and if they look like you bought them from IKEA, then it's not gonna be it. So, let's do this. Can't physically be that precisely close to the TV shelf. Yeah, I think you might be right there. What I can do, there has to be a small gap. I mean, it's weird because there's like, it's angled. It's weird. Because this is a big shelf, right? So, what I would do to remedy this... I know. Instead of making them further apart, I'm going to bring them closer together, and I'm going to make sure that it lines up with the back of this shelf. Yo, what's up, Tommy? I knew that you'd show up at some point, but we can do something like this. Now that looks significantly more natural. As long as it like lines up with the back. So let's just make sure that it does. And then from there I can someone has to make the microwave noises. Should I Okay. Here's the deal. I am slightly willing to go take a small field trip over to adding a noise to the soundboard land. However, I don't know if you guys want to deal with me just being off on a different screen without much happening. Because if somebody, you know what? If somebody can get me a good MP3 file of, yeah. If somebody can get me a good MP3 file of like 5 seconds is a lot. Is it a lot? You know what? 5 seconds, yeah, about, of microwave noise. Then I will take the time and set up the redeem for it. How's that sound? Because I'm too lazy to do it myself. Alright. Let's see. So we can do this now. And that, yeah, this looks significantly better than it was. It did. Let's see here. What I feel like there's something I'm missing here. Did I bring it closer? Because at a certain point, the TV is, or the shelf is overlapping the back, or whatever. And do I want to give him a little gap? Honestly, no, I don't think so. Because in all of my grandparents' houses, they would have these giant pieces of furnitures jammed directly next to each other, just crammed into every single space possible. I don't know if that's the case for a lot of other people's, like, grandparents and stuff, but that is at least what the case is for mine. So I'm going to try to replicate that with these. So we're gonna do that. We can go like this. Open that up a little more. Get larger, increase the size of the line of the shelf. The shelving unit. Alright. So, now here is the question. How do I make this look ornate? I'm not sure. You know what? You know what I could do? I could just copy the design of the shelves that are above me right now. Because if I make... Oh. Well, have a good one, Hawo. See you around. Luckily, this won't be the last art stream, so there will be more to catch. But we can have the actual shelves kind of jutting out of the unit a bit. Like these shelves do here. I don't know why I'm gesturing with my chin like this. It doesn't... I'm gesturing towards my computer screen. If I wanted to gesture, I'd be like... Look at it! Let me try that out. Let me try out that concept. So, we're going to make this first shelf match the angle of this shelf here. Like so. And then I can just make it straight across. Like so. And then it can go down like that. And like so. And like so. And then I'll put like there, like so, like so. And that's our shelf. And that works. It looks like it works. All right. Now, of course, I could probably make it look better than this. I could probably add some pizzazz to the style. But the general concept is there. What I might do is I might put this a little bit further in. So still have it jutting out, but not as far as the floating table is. Just in order to... keep the focus on that table in the middle. Okay. Now, of course, the duplicate thing doesn't work for that, so, how would I fix this? Just chop this off like so. Delete that. And I can yoink this. Actually, why am I using that? Let's use the square cutting tool here. Copy, paste, mirror horizontal, drag over here. There we go. And that works pretty well. No, it doesn't. It's completely off. Oh, never mind. I had it wrong. It's this. There we go. All right, so that's our first shelf on the shelving unit. Let's add some more. I don't know how much space I should give them. Maybe I should... You know what? I could probably limit it to like 3-4 shelves here. So we'll have... Let's see here. We'll go over here, set up just another line back here. And that's our second shelf thing. And I'm going to make this a little bit more shallow. Oh, man. How does that line up with this? Okay, it lines up pretty alright. So if I just do this... And then... like that. Then I can get rid of these. Right. Okay. Now we just do this again. Okay, I might have made it a little too shallow. Maybe I didn't. That actually kind of works. I think they need to go out a little bit further, so I'll do that. But besides that, this is looking pretty alright. So let's just get rid of these lines here and redraw them. Like so. This is a little fucked. But it's fine, because I'll put over a little bit. There we go. We can't. How has it been an hour already? What the heck? I just looked down and it's been an hour and 10 minutes. Holy shit. Time does really fly, huh? Alright. I will finish this little bit of the shelf here. Artist to blame. It is, it is. Alright. That's looking pretty okay. It's about as much praise as I'm willing to give it, but, yeah, no, it looks okay. Let's quickly take a break. I will pause the music real quick. Alright. I will see you guys in a few minutes. Lib is working. Everything's good. We can continue. Alright. So, I realized that I could probably move this shelf up. And so that is what I will be doing. I'm gonna nudge it up a little bit. Give, that. I'm trying to like think about proper spacing here, because I don't have anything to really put on the shelf right now, but at some point I'm going to be putting a bunch of stuff on this shelf. So I might as well give some headroom there, but I'm just not sure about it. You know what? I'll leave it with the spacing that it has. Will I? I think I gotta. Yeah, I think I kind of have to leave it with the spacing that it's at right now. So, that I will do. And replicate it on this side as well. Oh, this isn't gonna look the same, is it? Okay. Alright, fine. Okay. Instead, I will remove it. Yes. Alright. Control C, Control V. Take this thing, mirror it horizontally, and just jam it in the place where it was on the other side. There we go. Perfect. No problems whatsoever. Draw over it to line it back up. In fact, I'll just redraw this entire little section here. Like so. Like so. Do that. And it didn't look right. I don't know why I'm such a perfectionist almost with my art, because it never comes out to anything spectacular, but when I see something that's slightly off, there's something in my brain that just tells me, nope, redo it. And then by the end of it, it all looks the same. It all looks like I drew it anyways, whether or not it has those small imperfections. Probably just exists to annoy me. Alright. So we can do this. Can't do that. I'm gonna do this. What thickness is this at? Let me just use my hands real quick. Okay, it's a little too thin. That's what I thought. So I will thicken that up a little bit. Get down with the thickness. It's like a pun, but bad. Okay. Yeah, that lines up correctly. Alright. We could do this again. And hopefully it is being properly mirrored on the other side, and there are no problems, and I can be happy. Probably not. I'm probably going to shift over to the other side and realize that there is a whole bunch of issues that got created by the fact that I am mirroring right now. But let me just focus on this for a second. Hey, what does it look like over here? Actually, that's fine. Who could have thunk, eh? And we can take that over there. I'll connect this up. And then we can just draw another line going from here to here. There we go. What's this? What is this? Yeah, whatever. I don't care. It's fine as is. Here in the Ender Deej streams, we preach acceptance. And by that I mean don't fuck with it. It's fine. Yeah. Okay. So we have 2 shelves, an endless void at the bottom. I think what I want to do for the bottom is I want to give it some legs. Just some very minor, like, shelf legs. Like the ones you find on shelves. Just to give it that extra little... that extra little bit of detail. Because even though... Oh, okay. Never mind. Even though these are not supposed to be the focus of the entire drawing, I still want to make everything look consistent and nice, you know? So it's not gonna have the IKEA style of like, you just got the side boards here going all the way down to the ground, and then there's a little gap, because that's boring, and I don't do boring. Unless you find my streams boring, in which case I do boring. But, as for this stuff, let's try to keep it a little more classy. Yeah, so let's take that. Wait, no. I have a better idea. I will simply steal this line here and use it for my own evil intentions here. I'll turn the line slightly. That works better. And then I can make it longer, I guess. You know what? I'll leave it as is. And I will simply draw over it. We'll go all the way to the back. Welcome back, Tommy. I can only assume what you were doing. Alright. Yeah. Yeah. I think I put the legs a little too far in. So, I guess I remedy that by taking... Oh. What me do? I did it. Figured it out. Because this is currently non-Euclidean, what this is. This should go all the way down to the bottom as a board. like so. Meaning that if I cut that off, it turns into a non-Euclidean nightmare. New Cult of the Lamb trailer? Really? Where? I don't see a Cult of the Lamb trailer anywhere. What's the trailer about? Woolhaven announcement trailer. Huh. I wonder if that's going to be like a proper whole new DLC overhaul, or if it's going to be just a basic, you know, add new items, add new follower skins, done, wipe your hands kind of thing. Because I'm pretty sure that's what most of the other DLCs have been. But you're hyped? Fair enough. Alright, so now we can just take that. Nope. Like that. And like so. The next update is going to be a big thing. Ooh. Okay. Well, I might have to pick back up Cult of the Lamb at some point. Probably not anytime really soon, because I have a lot of games that I need to play. Especially now that I've finished Fez, it's going to be Blueprints. And I've got... Okay, what games do I currently have on standby? I have Anton Blast. I still need to finish Anton Blast. What else? Did I manage the impossible riddles? No, I just looked up the answer. Also, Tommy, you were saying to me that I'd be able to, like, you believed in me. I'd be able to do those riddles for those little obelisk things with the cube floating. And when I looked it up, it actually pissed me off slightly. Only a tiny bit. Because there was no indication that you were supposed to answer it that way. Literally none. It was so funny, though. What do you mean? There's no reason why they should have, like, why the answer to the puzzle should have been fucking that. There was no hint. There was nothing. They just went, okay, yeah, this, it means... Okay, spoilers in case you haven't beaten Fez. It means look down at the ground. Oh. There was no interrelated, like, puzzling and stuff. It was just, you're supposed to guess, and then you can look at the other ones, and those are the same too. Garbage puzzle, gotta say. All of the other, it's a shame because all of the other puzzles in Fez were so good, but that particular kind of puzzle was, at least in my mind, kind of bullshit. With the obelisk, and then you go to 2 rooms away. Okay, admittedly, that is funny. You're correct in saying that is funny, because it is really funny. But, doesn't mean that puzzle isn't bullshit. I mean, at some point, I might have been able to get it just out of boredom. I'd be in the room, just be like, okay, what do I do? I guess I'll look down. But, yeah, no, there was no indication that would be the answer, and I hate it. But otherwise, all thumbs up for Fez and its game. Also, I did do the secret ending. I guess it's an ending, technically. I did the secret thing with the heart cubes. And then I did the secret thing with the secret thing. And that was fun. But besides that, not much happened. Look. Yeah? I mean, hey, I will tell you this, alright? There's a difference between just playing the game... Oh, in the water. Yeah, the Secret Love Room. I did that, and then I disintegrated it, and then that's it. And then I left. But what was I saying? I was saying something. Where did the thought go? Can I have it back? Tommy! Tommy! You distracted me. Okay. Oh, yeah, that. Okay, there is a major difference between casually doing a puzzle game and doing a puzzle game on stream. Because when you're doing it on stream, when you're doing it on your own, you can take your time and just kind of think. When you're on stream, it's like this is what the viewing experience would be. Just that for like 30 minutes until I go, oh! I mean, that's effectively what it was. I mean, every time that I had like a year, I don't know how much time I spent trying to figure out the Quick Fox jumps over the lazy dog thing. But I spent a while on that. In fact, oh my goodness. This is good music to come on. The puzzle for the numbers. Wait, were you there when I just looked up the numbers? I think you might have been there. The fact that there were 2 number 3s threw me off so hard. It was like a total fuck you from the game. In actuality, it's a very cool concept, and it ties in very well with learning a language. However, the fact that there were two 3s was jarring. The numbers do make sense with the line. Yeah, they make a lot of sense when you do it how it's supposed to be done. But trying to figure it out was a whole other beast. Because how are you supposed to figure that out from an external point of view other than sitting down and just until you get it? Just you gotta turn your brain off, change the channel a bit, turn on TI-84, whatever the fuck, calculator mode, and just roll through the possibilities. At least that's how I would be doing it. Speaking of figuring out stuff, the name riddle was annoying because of the fact that, simply because of the fact that, picking out the letters was just annoying. I looked up the name, but, like, come on. You have to put it sideways? You really have to? You couldn't just write it? Also, I'm realizing that it would probably be a better idea to keep the bottom shelf flat. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna... This... You think you could have figured out the name? It's bizarre, but might be doable. I have no idea where I would have been able to find it. Probably in the owl. Is it an owl knowledge thing? The hints from... Is it the owl hints or something else? from the text? Oh, that had hints in it? It was like, this is just a routine security check. Why? Okay, you guys, you can see what's happening here, right? This is not how this is supposed to work. Why is it doing that? Please make a straight line. That's not a straight line. Why is it not making a... Is it a straight line? Am I stupid? No, it's locking on to like this pixel here. For some reason. Okay, good enough. You know what? Because of how this is, I'll do it like so. Should have had hints like, it is what it is. So like, who made it? Really? So, I guess that makes sense, but I never would have found it. I never would have looked at that and been like, oh yeah, it is what it is. That means meta, because it vaguely describes what meta means. And then also just the action of, like, writing it out. I would have given up on my idea. Like, if I had actually, like, looked at it and gone, oh yeah, this is probably Metatron. Just the action of having to write it would have confused me enough to give up on that. I'd be like, no, there's gotta be a different way. There's gotta be something else. Right. This is wrong. This is incorrect. I do not like it. Give me the correct shit. Okay, straight down. Like so. Gonna add the entire OST. I've added 3 tracks from it to the playlist. I'm not sure if I'm gonna add the entire OST because there were a lot of. The thing is, a lot of the music in the game was very nice, but not exactly the vibe, you know. And I put music into the playlist that's not really the correct vibe. But then I tend to skip it, so, you know. And by the vibe, I don't mean like the vibe of the stream. I'm just talking my brain don't vibe with it. It's a little too ambient, almost. I don't know, though. I'll have to take another look through. Right now, I'm thinking I'm going to probably shove a lot of music in within the next couple of streams. Because I've been playing through Haste, and it has probably the closest music to Rain Worlds I've heard in a while. And if you were to go off of just that comment, then you'd probably be kind of excited. But it's not very close to Rain World. It's just strangely Rain World-esque. I don't know. But I'm probably going to be putting a lot of that into my playlist as well. What does that emote mean? What did you just send? Come on, it's still not. Yup. Like so? Yay. No! What? How high up does this need to be? That high up, I guess. Okay. Okay. Different type of hype. Oh, give please. I see. That makes sense. We'll just here. Let me. We've already heard most of these. Let me put on the Haste soundtrack and kind of pick through them because they're not. The music is weird, really, really weird. Because it's mostly like it's more rhythmic. It's more standard music, but it has a lot of the generally same like styling as Rain World. I don't know. So let's. I'll listen to this one. Now, should I let these shelves just go off screen? It'd be easier than trying to write the other side or trying to draw the other side. But I don't want them to look like absolutely massive shelves. Or maybe I do. There's a lot of shelving motifs in my streams, so maybe I should just have 2 giant shelves next to the TV. You know, this is actually a good way to add stuff to the stream OST. Yeah, it's just a massive circular room. That's the lore reason behind these shelves. All right. Go like this. And this top shelf just needs to be, like, flat. The room with the platforms appearing in tune was very nice. Oh, yeah, that I immediately put in the playlist. That actually, I opened the stream with that. So, don't worry, you are going to be hearing that particular track more or less often. I don't think I've heard this one. I'm still playing through this game. So I haven't heard all of the music. It's got quite a bit. Let's see. How many tracks in this? 48. So there's 48 different like tracks in this game's soundtrack. Quite the variety. The day I start with Crypt. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I have started with Crypt of the Necrodancer music. But if you're talking about the day that I start playing Crypt of the Necrodancer, because I have the game. It is currently in my library. I think, do I have it downloaded? I don't. It's 1.6 gigs. So, yeah. Don't write it off as an impossibility. I definitely will be playing Crypt at some point. That looks alright. Okay. I don't know what this music comes from. This is interesting. Okay, we're just gonna do the same thing here, and then I'm going to merge. Perfect. What else do we need to do before we do the texturing on this? Saving, of course. And yes, of course. I need to actually put the line in the back here. So we're gonna go like so. Like about there. There's 2 instances of this? Oh, because it's got random. Oh, this is a 10-minute song. No, I'm not putting a 10-minute song in the thing. Here's where the music gets a little more intense. 10-hour microwave sound. 5 seconds. Who the hell is making a 10-hour microwave? Oh yeah, this is one of the boss themes. And it's not quite my style. Awesome. This is 15 minutes long. A lot of these are really long, and then a lot of these are really short. What? I have really no idea what we're going to listen to, so might as well embrace it. Just put on whatever. This ain't half bad. So a lot of the music does just kind of fall within this category of I don't even know what this is. Trap? Is this just electronic music? Could absolutely be a Crypt song too. I mean, I've only heard a couple of Crypt songs, and they tend to be more instrumental. And I guess instrumental describes music that doesn't have lyrics in it. But by that I mean more acoustic, almost. Then again, I haven't experienced a lot of Crypt of the Necrodancer music. Now I'm just going through and adding texture to the lines, which makes most of my painstaking precision in the previous steps unnecessary, but you know, it's how it is. And by the end of it, it makes the overall image look way better. Because when the lines are too perfectly straight, when the lines are too perfectly straight, it makes the image look sterile. It makes it look like it's got a... It makes it look like it's supposed to look perfect or some shit like that. Which is not my style. Even though I spend time trying to make it perfect. So we're just gonna do all the horizontal lines because they're easy. I feel like at some point I need to go learn the terminology for music. Just so that I can describe what I'm like thinking about when it comes down to music. Because I'm realizing that a lot of the time I have thoughts about music that I want to say like, oh yeah, this kind of sounds like this in a specific way. But I don't have words to describe that specific way in which that is that thing. And so I have to painstakingly describe it out, which is probably not fun for anybody. So at some point I should probably just go find music terminology and learn it so I can use it effectively and in order to cut out that annoying extra talking space that I use up. Okay. Now here I will do the vertical line. All right. That's what I usually do. I don't know if it gets my points across as effectively as one might think. You know what? Let's see here. I'll go redo the inner line here. And then I will add the bold line over here. Accords. Fair enough. Also, I think the word you're looking for is chords. An accord is a car. Or a conversation, I think. I don't know. But it illustrates your point flawlessly. Okay, so let's do this. This is another really long song. 8 minutes. I suppose it's probably looped at this point. Oh, this is good. This is a classic, like, landfall type beat. And if you don't know Landfall, I'd be surprised, because Landfall has created so many games that everybody loves. And you'd literally just need to look up, like, on it. Anytime somebody goes, I don't know what Landfall is, it severely shocks me, because Landfall creates, you'll pretend to know Landfall. Okay, I want you to look up Landfall Studio, or whatever the fuck it is, and look at the games that they created. Alright? Look at the games they created, and you will be shocked as to how many awesome games were made by them. They are goated. There we go. So now that, like, before it looked very sterile, it looked kind of shitty. But now that I've added all those lines and I added the bold outline, it looks a lot better. Like, it looks a lot more like my usual style, which is good. In fact, I think Peak 2, yeah. They made Peak. They made Totally Accurate Battle Simulator. They made Content Warning. Like, they made a lot of games that everybody loves. The only... what a shame. But, yeah, no, Landfall is really good at making games, and this is one of their games. And all of that, the whole entirety of that spiel and side quest that I put you on, was to point out the fact that these guys are good. Yeah. All right. There we go. Peak with viewers when? Probably a little bit after I play Peak for the first time on stream. Now I am going to save this to stream playlist. All right. Next up, we save, of course. And we are going to add color now. So let's do that. Shelves line art. Let's add shelves color. And I'll give it a slightly off brown from the table here so that this brown has kind of a richer, deeper color. I'm going to give the shelves a little bit more of an orange tone. So let's do that. We'll do like, yeah, that looks like the shelves I have up on stream. Alright, yeah. So we're just going to do this. Oh? What do you mean, oh? What was O worthy? What references. Like, the one that's at the top of my mind right now is, I'm thinking Clown Guy bobblehead. Yeah. Yeah, just little references like that. Okay, so this. P got a trip for the shelf. No. I think I gotta limit it to things that people would recognize as at least like regular references. If I had piss dripping from the shelf, people would be so confused. So we're gonna do. It would be kind of funny. You got me there. It would be funny. But I don't know if it would be worth. So I just realized why all of these OST songs are so long. Because in game, I thought that this one song was 3 different songs. But no, it's all one really long song. Which is interesting. Okay, let's increase the size of that. And now it should just be darkening the inside. Like, this sounds like a completely different song, but nope, it's the same. Same track. Also, this one's pretty good as well. Now, how do I make these shelves stand out? I just realized how. And by that I mean I just realized I fucked up something, so I'm gonna fix it. There we go. That's better. So I need to make either the front or back of these shelves better. I guess some just basic shading. Like if I just do 25% black there, and just grab this and fill it in. Oh, it's still a little too small of an area. Wait, maybe not. If I do this, and this is a little bit of a learning experience for all of us involved because I ain't got a clue what I'm doing here. But now I should be able to, there we go. That works out way better than I thought it would. And so now I just need to clean up the edges here, which shouldn't be too hard because it's all just a straight box. Ah, what happened? Yeah, don't do that again, please. Okay, I will be limiting that. Alright. Now the real question is, what does this look like when I put the background on? Oh yeah, this part's great. Would you look at that? So, this is actually kind of filling out now. It's, is it lacking something? I'm not sure. Of course, it's missing a little bit of piss. Gotta have a little bit of piss in there. Yeah, I'm not sure. You know what? I think I'm right in thinking. I think I'm right in thinking. Good English, me. That this hanging table is wrong. So we're just gonna call this shelves. Like so. We're gonna hit the save button. And I'm gonna go to the table. I'm gonna go to table line art. I'm gonna chop out that. I'm gonna chop this out here. Yeah. Well, I forgot what I had even said, so there you go. There are no problems. Okay. This is gonna fuck a little bit with my pre-existing coloring job here, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem because I can just layer it on afterwards. So we can just do this, match that. And then like so. Why is it playing again? This is the same thing. Oh, it's just looping? I'm not sure. This is currently not the best mix, but we'll see how it evolves. I won't judge too soon. Okay. Gonna do that. Gonna do this. All right. So now what I can focus on is I can just do this, table color. We're gonna do this. And we're gonna redo all this coloring here. Yeah, this mix kind of this song kind of sucks. I don't know if anybody else is vibing with it, but I could do without. All right, let's get that. Good enough for you? Enough for you, I suppose. Let's get some deeper browns in here for some accents, eh? Let's get some, nicer. Some grain going on in this nice table here. And then I can go over that grain with a larger swath of this color here, just to get it looking back like that. And now it kind of looks, you know, all right. Actually, I should probably do this, like lighten that up entirely, because the way that wood works, you see the grain from one side, and then from the other side, you'd see end grain. And due to how the wood is supposedly laid out here, in a particularly bad way, gotta say, but it looks good. It is physically impossible to have like this texture on both sides unless it was a veneer. And it could be a veneer, but I don't want it to be a veneer. I want it to be just a table made shittily. Alright. There we are. Okay, so we now have our basic setup here. I guess we're missing a couch, but I don't know if I want a couch. That really is the dilemma here now. Because I could put a couch, or I could put a little text box down here being like, stream's done. Although, should I put that here? I don't know. Decisions. Oh boy. My thinker is on wrong. I like, for but a second, I went from thinking about the topic, and then my brain, it was driving down that road, and at some point it went, whoop, and I lost it. I lost what I was thinking about. Halfway through thinking about it. Yeah. I mean, let's see here. Now, I guess I could pose this question to you. Should I add a couch at the bottom of the screen? Because I don't know if I need one. But also, because the thing is, the couch, if I added a couch to the bottom of the screen, it would only cover up the carpet. So, I don't know, like, it doesn't fill in this empty space on the sides here. Yeah, that was the plan. But the existence of the Hoog would block even more stuff. Because, like, let me just like, plan this out in the most basic sense. Yeah, so if I did this, then the couch would kind of be... Where'd my mouse go? Eh? Where'd my thing go? Oh. Okay. Why doesn't it show my cursor? Come on. But effectively, the couch would be like, or maybe even scooched over like this. And then it would go down, and then you'd have the armrest like so. So it would only block the bottom. And adding the Hoog, I could have the Hoog kind of like, whoop. I could have the Hoog kind of slumped over here, like I think your suggestion was. But then, at that point, it's covering up even more of this random crap. So, maybe the answer to this isn't to have a couch, but instead to just draw the Hoog sleeping on the floor. I could just do that. I could just have him, like, halfway into the image, head down here, just snoring away. That's the wrong way. Man, I fucked up drawing a Z. I could have something like that. Not sure. What? Oh, music done. Did a thing. Okay, we're good. Yeah, no, I'm not really sure. I might have to think on this one, because currently we're at a good place here. Fan art channel? Oh man, that was a quick sketch. I suppose it was a sketch. You can't post that. I don't think that's allowed. I don't know whether I think technically it's not allowed by the rules, but it is funny. Maybe, you know what? I think it might be easier just to have the Hoog like on the ground like this in the same fashion, admittedly, but kind of just like, here, let me demonstrate. I don't know if my microphone picked up my attempt at snoring. I was trying to be as loud as physically possible with that noise. But, you heard it? Good. Excellent. I think I might call it here for now. Just because, I mean, it's been a good stream, 2 hours. I probably should be streaming around 2-3 hours again, anyways. I haven't been doing long streams, but oh, more fan art. You see, that's closer to what I was thinking. Here, if you wouldn't mind removing the first one, by the way, not because like. Don't take it as me, like, saying they're bad, but I don't want people looking at that and being like, oh, that's okay to post, and then they start posting big-boobed women. We've already had a couple incidents. But, yeah, no, I think I'm gonna call it for tonight. We've made a good amount of progress here. We got, I mean... The TV was easy, because I just blip, copy, paste, and it looks so much better than the other one did. I should probably replace the one that's above my head sometime soon. Yeah. I think we're good for now. So I would like to thank you guys for watching, and VOD viewers and all that stuff. Thank you. I don't know if there's more than you, Tommy, right now, but just thank everybody who was here. It's been a hot second, and hopefully we will be able to do a lot more art streams. To stream even longer art next time to make up for the missing ones. Hey, the thing is, on Mondays, I have pretty much the entire day open to myself. So I might start doing early art streams, like 2 o'clock to 7 kind of thing, for me at least. So that'll make up for it. But otherwise, I would like to thank you guys again for watching, and yeah, have a good one.